Love, the word that everyone speaks of, but few truly understand. What if I told you that what most people call love is just an illusion, a mask worn by the ego? Let's dive deeper into the true meaning of love and spirituality. A love that goes beyond the surface, beyond mere attachment, and touches the essence of oneness. When you hear the word love, what comes to mind? Maybe it's the warmth you feel when you're with someone special, the comfort of being understood, or the excitement of finding a deep connection. But in reality, much of what we consider love is not love at all. It's attachment, a way for the ego to feel safe, fulfilled, or important. True love, in the spiritual sense, is something much deeper and purer. It's not about needing someone to complete you or fulfill your desires. True love is about recognizing the oneness in another being, seeing beyond their personality, flaws, and behaviors, and connecting with their essence, the divine spark that exists within all of us. In today's world, love is often portrayed as something to be gained or lost. We fall in love, and just as easily we can fall out of love. This kind of love is conditional, based on how well someone meets our needs or aligns with our expectations. But this isn't true love. It's an emotional attachment, a bond formed out of a desire to satisfy the ego's endless cravings. The ego loves to attach itself to someone else, to feel secure and validated. But this kind of love is fragile. It can be broken, twisted, or lost because it's rooted in fear, insecurity, and the illusion of separation. When you cling to someone, expecting them to fulfill your needs, you're not loving them. You're using them to fill a void within yourself. True love, on the other hand, is not about fulfilling your desires or depending on someone else to make you happy. True love is about seeing the other person as they truly are, beyond the masks they wear, beyond the roles they play. It's about recognizing that, at the core, you and the other person are one and the same. In non-duality, love is the recognition of oneness. It's the understanding that the same divine essence that exists within you exists within everyone else. When you truly love someone, you see beyond their personality, beyond their flaws, and connect with their essence. You love them not for what they do for you, but simply for who they are, a reflection of the divine. True love is not based on duality because it transcends the ever-changing emotions and conditions of the ego. In a dualistic mindset, you might love someone today but hate them the next day, depending on how they treat you or meet your expectations. This back and forth is a sign of attachment, not true love. It's the ego at play, basing love on conditions and circumstances that are always subject to change. True love, on the other hand, doesn't shift with the tides of emotion. It's a state of being that comes from recognizing the oneness and divinity in the other person, no matter how they behave or how the situation changes. True love doesn't turn into hate or resentment because it's not based on what the other person can give you or how they make you feel. It's rooted in something deeper, the understanding that we are all one, and that love is the natural expression of that oneness. When you love from this place, you don't fall in and out of love. You love without conditions, without the push and pull of dualistic thinking. True love is constant, peaceful, and unconditional, existing beyond the ego's need for approval or validation. Now, let's talk about the difference between love and attachment. Attachment is the ego's version of love. It's conditional, it's needy, and it's always looking for something in return. But true love doesn't ask for anything. It simply is. True love is unconditional, free from the ego's demands and expectations. When you love someone from a place of true spiritual understanding, you don't cling to them or expect them to fulfill your needs. You allow them to be who they are, free and whole. And in doing so, you free yourself as well. You're no longer bound by the fear of losing them or the need to control them. You simply love without attachment, without conditions. Without the recognition of the true nature in yourself and in the other person, relationships can quickly become burdensome or even sources of pain and suffering. When we don't see beyond the surface, beyond the egoic personalities, our relationships tend to be based on expectations, desires, and attachments. But if you want to cultivate true love in your relationships, start by recognizing the essence of the other person, their divine nature, the oneness within them. Once you do that, everything else will naturally follow, and the love you share will be pure, free, and without conditions. True love becomes the byproduct of seeing each other's true essence. One of the reasons why relationships often fail is because they are based on egoic love, on attachment rather than true connection. When you attach yourself to someone, believing they are the source of your happiness, you set yourself up for disappointment. People change, circumstances change, and what once felt like love can quickly turn into something else. Resentment, anger, or even indifference. But true love is not subject to the ups and downs of life. It's not dependent on external circumstances. True love remains, even when the ego's desires are not met. It's a steady, unwavering presence that comes from recognizing the divine in another. To truly love someone is to go beyond their personality, beyond their likes and dislikes, their strengths and weaknesses. It's to see them as they truly are, a manifestation of the divine, just like you. When you love from this place of deep spiritual awareness, your love is not limited by the ego's preferences or judgments. It's expansive, inclusive, and unconditional. This kind of love is rare because it requires you to drop your egoic attachments and expectations. It requires you to see beyond the illusion of separation and recognize the oneness that connects all beings. But when you do, you experience a love that is pure, free, and everlasting. Many people confuse love with attachment because the ego is so good at disguising its needs as love. The ego craves security, validation, and control, and it uses relationships to get these needs met. But this is not love, it's a form of dependency. And as long as you're dependent on someone else to make you feel loved, you'll never experience true love. True love doesn't come from outside of you, it comes from within. It's a recognition of the divine within yourself and within others. And when you connect with this divine essence, you realize that you don't need anyone to complete you. You are already whole, and your love flows naturally, without conditions, without expectations. As you continue on your spiritual journey, take a moment to reflect on how you love. Are you loving from a place of attachment, driven by the ego's needs and desires? Or are you loving from a place of true spiritual awareness, recognizing the oneness in others and connecting with their divine essence. True love is not something you find. It's something you awaken to. It's a natural state of being that arises when you let go of the ego's demands and open yourself to the divine. So, don't settle for the ego's version of love. Go deeper, connect with the essence of who you are, and let your love flow freely, unconditionally, and without attachment. And remember, true love is not about what you can get. It's about what you can give. It's about recognizing the divine in others and honoring that divine essence with your presence, your kindness, and your compassion. This is the true meaning of love in spirituality. And when you love from this place, you experience a love that is pure, expansive, and eternal.